Finally. Hello, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
Okay. It's very warm over here. I'm sure it's cold over there.
Yes, it's still quite cold. Yeah, absolutely. We are stepping out of winter, but really slowly in Switzerland. So,
okay.
Still cold.
Well,
yeah.
You clearly have a lot of color right now.
On my face or on the tray, because both are
Well, the face, yes, it looks good, but also you have a lot of colors this year.
Yes, we have a lot of colors, The one on my face is thanks to skiing and enjoying the Swiss mountains, of course.
Good for you.
Not the kind of sunshine you have. And of course, colors here. This is something important to us this year. We launched the Defy 21 Ultraviolet last year.
Yes.
Where we basically started to play a lot with colors, not only on strap and case, but also inside the movement. And that's been a little bit of a signature for us.
Yes.
And people loved it so much that we came first with the blue, this one, which is in the footsteps of the Ultraviolet.
Yes.
The Ultra Blue with our colors, very cool watch. But we wanted also to be a little bit crazier, and bring something super special on this Defy 21 that's been such an important piece in our collection. That's why we launched what we call the Spectrum collection.
Mm-hmm.
Spectrum is all about 5 different colors, where we wanted to emphasize on colors, light, and high frequency. And as you know, colors are frequencies for the eye, and we wanted to really focus on that. Bring also some joy, bring also some happiness, in a world that has been a bit gray over the last year. And we believe it was the right time to launch this in a very limited edition, because it's only 10 pieces each. So if you own one color, there are only 9 other people in the world that own the same watch, and that's going to be it. So it's a talking piece, a talking collection. I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And I saw that you were talking on the site. You're talking a lot about the icons now, and you have some new videos out that they're very, very good. They're very interesting.
Icons is one of my favorite programs, because it's not only it's a tribute to our heritage, but it's done in a very modern way. And for me, it's the best way to connect, in a way, the past to the future, as we are doing every day at Zenith. Because of course we are restoring iconic watches from the 60s, 70s, and then we sell them to aficionados, brand aficionados, in our limited network of boutique. So they get the full attention, they get the follow-up of a concierge service, they get a special advice on how to buy a vintage watch, because it's not as easy as it seems to buy it on the secondary market or to buy
it's not.
So we
Correct.
give very special advice, and we accompany the client through this journey. So that's important. And why it's connecting to the future? It's because, by doing this, you are basically very much in line with today's theme of sustainability, of circular economy, because a Zenith watch, whenever it was produced, is here forever. We are in such a world of things that you throw away after a little while of use. These watches, you keep them forever. And this is something we want to give a second, third, and many lives to each of our products. So I like this approach very much.
Yes.
The feedback we got from people is that they love it, because again, it's not an easy step to buy vintage watches. You really have to know.
Yes. No, and I was particularly impressed with the level of commitment about having, number one, having all the parts for all the years, and being able to create all the parts, which is a big deal, because a lot of people don't realize that watches have changed over the years.
Absolutely. And many brands, unfortunately, if you send back a watch that's older than 30 years old, they just don't repair it. They just basically tell you, put it in a storage and don't use it anymore. So for me, from day one, I really worked saying our watches, even from the first day of the company, we have to be able to repair it.
No, I think that's great. Now there was another watch that we saw, which was multicolored. How do you pronounce it?
Felipe Pantone.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I have it. I have it here on my tray, and it's been something quite unbelievable. I mean, we knew it was a very special collaboration from the beginning, but we didn't expect such a buzz and such a success on that particular watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Felipe Pantone, if something I didn't know, is a big watch fan, and he knew someone in our company for quite a while. I mean, they had been in touch talking about watches, and then he came to us asking about a collaboration. And I didn't know, I had no idea really how we could do it together. But when he visited us in Le Loc, in the manufacturer, he sat down, we had a long hours talks, and I realized that he's so much in line with our brand philosophy that we could only do a big project together. And I like that a lot. Because, you know, he was really a good example of someone who followed his star, who went to reach his own star from a childhood dream to become a contemporary artist. He realized it. And that's how we work together.
Okay. When did he approach you? Did he approach you before or after you were starting to produce these colors?
No, it was before. It was probably a year and a half ago, you know.
Okay.
With the COVID-19 situation, things got a bit postponed. And this is also when we got the idea to ask him. This time we asked him, we said, Felipe, what you're doing with your kinetic art is so incredible and bringing so much joy to people to look at your art pieces, that can you help us to decorate the main building of Zenith in Le Loc? You know, Le Loc is already a bit gray sometimes with the weather. It's a remote place, and bringing such unbelievable colors and colorful on the building was something quite amazing. So he basically did an art piece of 600 square meters, and we fully wrapped our main administrative building at the entrance of the manufacturer. And of course, to be honest with you, I mean, people might be a bit conservative there, so I wasn't really sure. And of course, I talked to the authorities, but you never really know the feedback you can get afterwards. And
yes.
And great is that something we didn't expect or we weren't targeting. But people came back saying, this is amazing. It's bringing colors and joy in a period of time which is so tough for everyone. Thank you very much for enlightening a bit the Le Loc location during 2020. So we did this, and right after, basically, we were, of course, working on the project of the watch. And to give you a bit of an insight, I never saw, through all the collaboration we've done, I never saw someone so much involved. He was basically calling our product team every 2 days, you know, talking about the colors and how we should do this and how we should do that. And he was involved because he knew that would be another art piece, in a way, of his.
That's true, yes.
He wanted to make sure that we were perfectly in line. You know, when you are doing something totally different, you say, okay, it's a watch, I trust the watch company. He was trusting us, of course, but he wanted to get involved. And I enjoy that partnership in particular here.
Mm-hmm. Did he have any technical demands that were hard to meet?
Yes, of course. I mean, especially the colors, to find the right tone, the right gradient evolution that we have on some of the wheels were quite challenging, because we had never worked with such rendering. That's what actually makes the watch very unique. But for our technicians, it was very difficult. I mean, they had to work on different technologies. And at the beginning, there were a lot of attempts, and we had to throw away some parts that were not corresponding to the rendering we were targeting. So it wasn't easy, but I have to say, it was 100 pieces, you know. It would be very difficult to make it like thousands of watches, but it's a limited edition, 100 pieces. And of course, last but not least, but when we announced it and we released it, we got different type of people getting very interested. We got, I think, close to 400 requests for availability on our e-commerce website, which was already huge. Of course, we had 100, so we sold 100. But part of these buyers were Zenith aficionados for sure, but some of them were also people coming for Felipe's art piece, you know, people who acquired already some pieces that he did on different support, and realizing that this artist is going up and up in terms of coat and reputation. So they wanted the watch made by Felipe Pantone with Zenith. And that's something, you know, we didn't expect to that extent.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm curious because you on the subdial you have multiple colors.
Yes.
That's different. That's different from your the other Defy Spectrum, for example, because they're solid colors. In this case, it's multiple colors on one piece. How did
Absolutely.
you do that?
It was a big issue that we had. Basically, is to find the right color tone first of all, linked to his color codes, and then to get them to change one color to the other on some small parts, some small wheels. It was made very difficult by hand. I mean, most of it, very complicated. So they used a few techniques, a few new techniques that they had to develop to be able to get to this level of detail in a watch like that. And as you say, normally we use a single color. Here it
Yeah.
was multiple colors, so quite complicated chemical processes. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Were you able to make it in series, or is each of those subdial pieces slightly different?
In between, we managed to do by small series, 5 to 10 pieces each, and then you have to restart the process. So that makes it, I mean, every single watch looked the same, but of course we know it was not made like 100 in a row. It was a bit artisanal, That's the reason why there was no way to make many more. It
Okay.
was by definition going to be very exclusive.
Okay.
At
Okay.
the end of the day, that's also what people are buying. It
Yeah.
came in a very special box also, very nice packaging, like a book, in which on which there was a special art piece, also special drawing made by Felipe. So you get the watch, but you also get this beautiful art piece on the box, on the packaging. So honestly, it's been incredible. And you know what's been incredible also is that we sold all these watches on our e-commerce websites. And that means, some people still doubts in the watch industry that e-commerce is there. E-commerce is a real channel. And I believe it's wrong, because we all started to buy different things on e-commerce year after year, and we're getting used to that.
Yes.
And even this watch is close to 20,000 Swiss francs, so it's an expensive watch. People are buying it. People are buying it. And it's not like they could see it in a shop and then they go back to buy online. This one, there was no way to see it physically. So they bought it only looking at pictures on the screen. And that tells a lot about the future also of e-commerce in the watch industry for me. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But it also means that they have to be very, very comfortable with your brand.
Sure. Yeah. Defy 21 is a well-known watch. The watch itself is known from a mechanical point of view and from the Zenith point of view. But the aesthetic rendering, when we sold, I think e-commerce, you have to offer the option to send back the watches if you don't like it.
Yes.
Which is normal, which is fair. And I think out of 100, we got 2 people that changed their mind. So fine, they look at the watch, that's not what they wanted, they send it back, and then we get 2 people that were number 101 and 102, lucky ones that got the watches. That's part of the game. That's part of the game.
That's the way it is now. So you do have 2 watches on you right now. Can you tell us what you are wearing and why?
I usually never do that, but my heart is really splitted into 2 watches these days. Of course, I'm still wearing the Chronomaster Sport that we launched in January.
Yes.
And that's been such an incredible success, buzz, and a great welcome from our clients that I've been enjoying wearing this watch a lot over the last few weeks. And I still talk a lot about it because people ask me for that watch. So that's why I'm wearing it. And to be honest, it's been a huge success. We went in a row with this big launch in January, followed up by the incredible success of the Felipe Pantone we just discussed. And now we're here, and we're here with the main launch being next to those beautiful colors. Next is the Defy Extreme. Defy Extreme is another evolution for us. We have 2 main pillars between Chronomaster that we are basically finalizing now to reposition the way we wanted. And of course, Extreme, which is a part of the Defy collection. Defy was launched, as you remember, in 2017 with the Defy 21. Then it got completed with the Defy Classic with some high complications. And last year with the Defy Midnight. And this year we wanted to push the limits. We wanted to push the boundaries, to go with something with a huge energy, huge power. And that's how we worked, basically. First on the case, as you can see, the shape of the case has been reworked.
Yes.
Shape of the bezel with this dodecagonal shape, 12-sided bezel. Of course, big pushers and protections for the crown. That gives a very sporty look. One important aesthetic element also is the dial. You know, here we integrated on the mechanism a sapphire dial on which we positioned the 3 sub-counters as well as the Zenith logo. So difficult to describe through a screen, but when you see the watch in real, you really have an incredible feeling of depth as you can really dive into the mechanism. And that's a very, very great rendering for people, mostly for people who saw the watch in real. And last but not least, I mean, in today's world, we think functionality is very important. And beside the fun you can have with 100 of a second, of course, still the fastest and most precise chronograph in the world today, we have integrated a strap, interchangeable strap system, which is extremely, extremely convenient. For example, the watch I'm wearing, you have here a Velcro strap that you remove in a very, very simple way, not with the glove, but without the glove. Okay, here we go. And then you can change it because you actually receive, you know, you have the same watch here on the bracelet that you receive immediately on the microblasted titanium bracelet. Okay, this is exactly the same watch. And then you receive 2 extra straps, the one I just removed, as well as another one in rubber that we worked on, a very dynamic design as well. And you see, in a couple of maneuvers, you get the new strap. So you literally get 3 watches in one.
Yes,
that's not something people like a lot. And
yeah.
Important also, you know, interchangeable systems, for me, it's very nice that it's made here in the back in a discreet way, you know, because we all live in places where sometimes you can get robbed. And this is a high security because you cannot get robbed on the top here. It's very hidden. Only the owner knows, and you have to go under the watch to activate the strap system change. Okay. So that's a very safe system for people. So that's what we've been working on. Here I showed you the microblasted one. We have another one here, beautiful in regular titanium with a blue finishing on the dial, as we are well known for now. And this one, for example, will be delivered with a blue rubber to match the dial, you know.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of people are unable to properly put together a interchangeable system that has both a solid bracelet and a flexible strap. And if they do, they tend to do it with one additional link. But it doesn't look like you did that.
No. It's because we looked at that solution, but it's not very convenient. We wanted something that people will use with pleasure, not as a constraint. That's important. If you provide a special service to clients, you have to make it fun and easy to use. And as you can see, very, very simple for us to change. And that's the reason why also we include 2 straps, because if you just offer the functionality, but you sell a watch with a single bracelet or a single strap, once you're back home, you tend to forget. You have a watch looking like this, you wear it this way, and you don't play with it. Our objective was to push, to provoke our clients to play with the interchangeable system. And that's what we're going to do with this, because easy to use, super functional, and 2 straps are given with.
Well, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice that you did it that way. That's how does it feel? What's the tech? We haven't seen it or felt it, obviously, but is it a sharp feeling? Is it a smooth feeling?
It's very smooth. You know, I've been a pain in the neck with my product development team for a couple of years already, a few years. When we make a product, we take a lot of time now for testing. And it's not only about the technical aspect of it. It's about comfort and ergonomy. You know, I always tell my team, you know, wearing a watch is exactly like when you want to buy a car and you sit in the car. If you don't sit comfortable, you know, your neck, your arms, everything, you're not going to buy the car. You're never going to buy the car because you spend a lot of time seated in your car and you want to feel, wow, I'm so relaxed, I'm so comfortable. A watch is exactly the same. Many clients are telling me they like your watch, and the minute they put it on their wrist, something is not smooth, you know, and they're going to run away. So that's an aspect that's very, very important, and that sometimes was a bit underestimated by watch brands, in my opinion. So now we're taking very much attention to little details. And you know, I'm not a tall guy at all. Otherwise, I would play basketball. But the watch is super comfortable, and even if it's 45 millimeters, which makes it a pretty big watch, it's espousing my wrist. In the perfect way. It's very balanced. There is no gap, nothing, and that's something I really paid a lot of attention to as well.
Yes. Does the bracelet bow out, or does it also remain tight?
No, it's falling pretty well. I'll show you on my wrist without to show you a bit. You know. You see?
Okay.
It's really espousing very well, and the metal bracelet as well. So that's also we paid attention. And again, you know, I'm 176. If you put it on a tall guy, it's even more, you know, around the. So it's very, of course, it's a big watch, but it's not a crazy big. And that was an important point, because when you look at the Defy 21, let's take this beautiful color here. Defy 21 is 44 millimeters wide. Defy Extreme is 45. It's only 1 millimeter bigger. So it's almost the same size, because I wanted it to still be wearable, you know. I didn't want to go for kind of a concept watch that you make a few and nobody's buying and wearing. This is a very wearable product.
Okay. You were talking about wearability of watches. Are you finding that there are people now that are buying your watches and not wearing them, treating them as collectibles, or do you still find that people actually really love to wear your watches?
I think we got both. I personally know people that are doing both. Some people, they systematically buy and wear the same watch, and they have tens of watches in a safe, which who am I to say it's good or it's not good? It's their choice at the end of the day. And I know some other people, they systematically wear the watch they have, even if they have some expensive ones that they have to be very careful with. They like to wear the watch, because I think wearing a watch, again, is like driving a car. You know, if you never drive it, at the end, it's not so good for the watch itself. So they like to wear the watch and to use it. Maybe not every day, but on special occasions as well. And we got both. We really got both, for sure. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you very, very much for your time.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. You know, I'm very lucky, because it's my pleasure and it's my job.
I know, isn't it great? The Extreme is what you're launching in like 2 hours or something, right? Is that what you're...
Very, very soon, in a few hours. And by the way, I forgot to show you this one, which is the micro-blasted titanium with rose gold.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So a masterpiece we've done. Absolutely beautiful. So yes, we are launching it in a few hours. You know, everybody is excited here in the Zenith team, because when you worked on a baby like this for years, and finally the day is coming to present it to the world, it's always a super exciting and emotional moment.
Yeah. You know, it actually looks quite readable, given that it's a very busy dial.
It is.
It looks quite readable.
We worked on the hands also to make them a little bit thicker and very readable. That's another important point you're mentioning, and sometimes people forget.
Yes. Okay, well, congratulations. I love seeing that thing move.
Yeah, me too. You know, that's the funny thing. And someone asked me yesterday, you know, chronograph. I say, okay, chronographs. Nobody's using chronograph to measure time, actually. But the 100th of a second, and even the 10th of a second, people use it. It's a toy, you know, it's a toy. They use it to show people, look at my chronograph. It's super fast. Yeah. And that's interesting, because they reuse a function that they usually don't.
Yes, it's just a fun thing to see.
Great. Absolutely. Okay.
Well, thank you very, very much for your time.
Hi, can I ask one question, please?
Sure.
Hi, Julien. Sorry, I can't turn on my camera because I'm so unglamorous, and I did my supply run today, the grocery. So anyway, my question is, I'm very happy for you guys, and I recall The last time we caught up with you was right after the launch of the Chronomaster, and I'm glad to see that you're wearing it. So, but even then, I know that you told us that it was well sort of flying off the shelves. You said that the reception for the Chronomaster was very good, and I also recall you. I distinctly recall you telling us that uh, this is part of the plan to let people know that, hey, Zenith is the luxury chronograph king, and I know that you guys are moving or probably setting yourselves up for that. And I'm also happy to note that you said that e-commerce is doing well for you guys. So can you give me a sense of how the company now is moving towards that goal that you said, that you want people to know that, hey, we were here before everyone else, and we want to reclaim this throne or this crown.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking this. It's a great question. I like the way you phrased it. Very simple. In the late 60s, as you all know, we made the El Primero. When I say we, I wasn't there, but some great people created a legend, created the El Primero, which, by the way, was followed up and copied in many ways years after, because it became immediately the reference for chronographs. A collector was telling me the other day that even the 7750, the Valjoux movement that's been used by so many brands still today, so many brands are buying external this movement. It was actually constructed looking very much in detail on the El Primero. So we created a monster in a good way. And today, of course, the objective is to go back and say, listen, Zenith is the king, is the master of chronograph, Chronomaster, clearly, and to reposition this. We're never going to make quantities like other brands, because it's still a brand that's exclusive, of course. And we have a production, we still fully manufacture, making 100% of our watches with internal movement. So we stay like that, but we need to recapture that segment. And that's very important. We've been doing great. You referred to e-commerce, which is incredible the way it's been developing. Most of the analysts today, they say, okay, 2020 was around minus 20-25% for brands all over the world. We expect 2021, of course, to be better, to have a rebound, but not to get back to the level of 2019 before 2022, 2023. I have some good news. January, February, March have been record months for Zenith, which means my objective was to go against this analyst and to reach the level of 2019, to beat the level of 2019. Actually, today I can tell you we are plus 20% versus 2019. So it's really, a fantastic momentum. And it's not only the Chronomaster Sport, it's not only the DeFi Extreme that we are launching now. Of course, it's participating to the thing, but it's a work force effect that happens after 3 years of hard work and repositioning of the brand, because we talk about product, but marketing platform has been doing a fantastic job. Our visual merchandising on the field, even if we cannot travel, is really increasing. We are implementing this new concept and people love it. So all these things are finally getting together to create the momentum for Zenith. And this, I'm very, very happy for every single employee of the company.
Oh, nice to hear. I'm very happy for you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. And we talked before about Zenith icons. I mean, I should have 4 hours with you to go through all of the and projects. You don't have time, but Zenith icons is incredible. We just DeFi Extreme. We just launched a partnership with the Extreme E off-road car racing, which is so amazing. I mean, not only the name is the same like our watches, but the philosophy behind it. The Zenith is Green initiative is a perfect match with these electric cars, basically racing in extreme environment to talk about climate change problems in those regions. So many things are going on with the brand now that it's a very exciting period of time, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hope to see
Thank you
soon.
very much. Hope you have a good day. Good luck.
I surely will. You too.
Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.